Let's get right into the highlights of the match, Resilience in California. We're breaking down that absolute roller coaster of a clash between the U.S. men's national team and Bosnia and Herzegovina. If you're a fan of a true underdog narrative mixed with some frantic, high-stakes tactical adjustments, well, you are in the perfect place.
So the big question, how exactly did the USMNT survive a sudden storm to make World Cup history? We're going to dive right into how the Americans navigated just an immense amount of pressure and a totally shocking second-half twist to pull off this unbelievable victory. Because, it wasn't just about the goals. It was about the raw mental fortitude to completely rewrite the game plan on the fly when the odds suddenly stacked heavily against them.
Section 1. Pressure in the Bay Area.
From the opening whistle, things were tense. Bosnia and Herzegovina came out super aggressive, just immediately testing the waters. The U.S. had to rely heavily on Matt Freese's early heroics. He was forced into 2 rapid, absolutely crucial saves just to keep things level. It was a really nerve-wracking start, but thanks to that massive goalkeeping, the Americans were finally able to weather those initial jitters and slowly find their rhythm, establishing control through some really crisp, quick passing sequences.
Section 2. The crucial breakthrough. To really understand the flow of this one, you have to look at the 3 huge inflection points. It kicks off with this massive explosion of joy right on the stroke of halftime, followed by a totally shocking twist midway through the second half, and then finally a moment of pure magic late in the game. Let's zero in on that first big milestone.
Right at the 45th minute, the breakthrough happened, and it started with just incredible vision. Malik Tillman threads this clever, penetrating pass right into the heart of the penalty area. Then, a bit of luck, Folarin Balogun capitalizes on a fortuitous deflection that drops the ball perfectly into his path. But that finish, pure, ice-cold skill. Balogun just slides a composed, left-footed strike right underneath the Bosnian keeper, Nikola Vasilic. That goal completely broke the deadlock and sent the home crowd into an absolute frenzy, literally right as the referee blew the whistle for halftime.
Section 3. The red card crisis. So they're riding high, but then, in the 64th minute, everything flipped. A heavy challenge on Tarik Maharovic brought the entire game to a grinding halt. You could feel the anxiety in the stadium as it triggered a really tense, drawn-out VAR review. These are those exact moments that can completely rewrite the script of a match, and unfortunately for the host nation, that is exactly what went down. Total disaster struck from Mauricio Pochettino's squad. The VAR review ended with a straight red card issued to none other than Folarin Balogun, their opening goal scorer. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, the USA was down to 10 men on the pitch. This created an immediate, terrifying crisis, especially considering they still had nearly half an hour left to play against a really motivated European team. What's fascinating here is the total tactical 180. The US had to instantly abandon their expansive, flowing offensive plans. Pre-64th minute, they were dictating the pace. Post-64th minute, it became an exercise in pure survival. They had to immediately shift into a highly defensive, organized block just to weather this relentless, incoming wave of Bosnian pressure. And that American defense was instantly put to the ultimate test. They had to desperately organize that low block to fend off a constant barrage of threats. Armin Mamek was making these piercing, dangerous runs, while Karim Alajabegovic was launching vicious, curling efforts at the net. It was a literal tactical siege.
With waves of anxiety sweeping across the stadium, everyone watching was asking the exact same question. How in the world could this squad possibly survive being a man down with that much time left on the clock? The physical and mental exhaustion of playing shorthanded at this elite level of international soccer, it really cannot be overstated.
Section 4. A moment of magic. Fast forward to the 82nd minute. The U.S. somehow manages to earn a foul in a highly dangerous area. Suddenly, the spotlight falls entirely on Malik Tillman as he steps up to take a free kick just outside the penalty box. This was completely do or die. A super rare chance for those 10 exhausted men to catch their breath and just maybe put the game entirely out of reach.
And wow, did Tillman deliver. He curled a precise dipping strike right over the wall, pure magic. He hit it with such tremendous power that even though Vasilic managed to get a desperate, outstretched hand to it, he just couldn't keep it out. The ball ripped into the back of the net to make it 2-0, and the stadium absolutely erupted.
Section 5. Securing historic victory.
10. That is 10 men left on the pitch.
totally exhausted, battling through 10 agonizing minutes of added stoppage time. Let me tell you, every single second of those 10 minutes felt like an absolute eternity for the fans in the stands and the players fighting out there on the grass.
But that sheer endurance, it built into one of the most historic defensive stands in recent memory for this program. Anchored by Chris Richards, who marshaled the backline flawlessly, the defense stood like an absolute fortress. They effectively cleared away every single dangerous cross swung into the box. And meanwhile, the midfield, they put in a heroic shift, holding on to crucial possession whenever possible, just to kill the clock and frustrate the Bosnian side. They absolutely refused to break.
2. The magic number here is 2. Not only is it the 2-0 final scoreline achieved under immense adversity, but it represents a massive historic milestone for the nation on the global stage.
When that final whistle finally blew, it didn't just end a crazy soccer match. It shattered a long-standing jinx against European opposition that had haunted the team for years. It firmly etched this squad into the history books, officially sealing only the second World Cup knockout stage win in U.S. men's national team history. Just a monumental achievement born entirely out of resilience. And this massive triumph sends the United States marching forward with soaring confidence. Their reward? A highly anticipated, absolute blockbuster showdown against European heavyweights Belgium in the round of 16, which is going to be played in front of what is sure to be a deafening crowd in Seattle.
Which leaves us with a really thrilling final thought to ponder as we wrap. With their European jinx finally broken, and having proven they can not only survive but actually thrive even when down a man, just how far can this resilient, incredibly battle-tested squad go? Seattle awaits, and the entire soccer world is going to be watching to find out.